A lot of people have seen Bitcoin's price absolutely plummet. They think it collapsed. Can we go any further down, or is this to wipe out all the leverage within the system before we absolutely pump? We are having analysts now come out with $150,000 to $180,000 Bitcoin price prediction. We're going to get over into the news very shortly. One thing that I want to say first, though, depending where you are in the world, Bitcoin right now is at an all-time high right now today. So we're going to get into that. One thing I want to say, firstly, not financial advice, but today, days like this, for me, a BTFD, buy the favorable dip. And you can replace the F word, favorable, with a better F word, if you like. Anyway, we are at block height 803,661, 5:56 a.m. here, local time, August 18. The block subsidy 6.25 per block, 92.67 of the 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be created are out there in existence, but we can see the price 27,894. Sats per USD 3,585. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you I will be BTFD today. I'll be buying, and I'm going to say I'm going to be buying the fucking dip because these are the days that I get excited for. Anyway, let's jump straight back into it. I've got so much to show you today, so much exciting stuff. Real quick, thanks to everyone that's joined me lately. This channel has grown absolutely rapidly. A lot of people love this interview here with Peter, along with Luke Mikic, but I'd urge you to check out these other videos. The video with Natalie Brunel, absolutely amazing. Jake Woodhouse, Rob from Riot, Brian D. Mint. All of those podcasts are absolutely fantastic. We've got some amazing people coming up. We've got Daz B. Speaking to him today. I'll have him on next week, as well as 5 other guests. So those podcasts will be coming out Friday next week. Is absolutely stacked. Now, check out this. This is Bitcoinnodes.io. Check that out. It's a live map of all the reachable nodes in the Bitcoin network. This is being crawled at the moment. You can zoom in and you get a whole lot more, but it's really cool representation of the Bitcoin network. This is absolutely fascinating. Now, I got this out of this book here. So shout out. B is for Bitcoin. I don't have a referral link, but go out and buy the bloody book. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's a Bitcoin book. Now, SHA-256, this is an online tool with GitHub. Here, and what I've written is the financial collapse is happening, and it's auto-updated and put out the 64-bit characters, the SHA-256 public and private hash function. But if I add just one letter, look at this bottom one. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. How can we get it any bigger? Can you see both there? So I'm typing up the top in this top box, and we're having a look at this hash down the bottom here. If you just add one letter, it changes it completely. I also believe if you put a capital, so we've got 07 at the end, capital G changes it to a 5-2, and if we add stack sat and B by the F and dip, it really changes it. But that's an absolutely fantastic hash there. So SHA-256, the online hash function, this is what Bitcoin uses for its cryptography. It was invented by the CIA, I think in 2001. So thanks very much. It's nice to see a 3-letter agency doing a favor for the world. They have made this possible. So that's absolutely fantastic. Mempool.space, another very interesting website that I learned about by reading a bloody great book. Thanks, Daz. So if we have a look here, there's a lot of information to go through. I love seeing things visually represented over here and what's going on. So mempool.space, check that one out. We're going to get into the news, Bitcoin's price very shortly. I just want to show you a couple of things here. Casebitcoin.com, Bitcoin and traditional assets ROI. Bitcoin Gold, S&P 500. We can see out of Bitcoin's history in the last 14 years, year 2 it had a negative 37% decline, but after 14 years it's up plus 3.7 billion% compared to gold's measly 99%, the S&P's 338% there. And I bring that up today because we have had, it's just dropped, blown up the price, but when in doubt, zoom out. So we're going to get into the price right now. Check this out. Bitcoin price, it is below $28,000. Are we worried that it's below $28,000? No, it is by the favorable day today. So 27,889. I liked it when it was 888, but the price is ticking back up. By the time you're watching this video, I would not be surprised if it's above $28,000. Not financial advice. It'll be up, down, or sideways, but we can see here the market cap. And this is pretty interesting because I used to use CoinGecko a whole lot more. But the market cap here is at $1.127 trillion, and it's a little bit different on CoinMarketCap. How funny is this? SHA-256, which is proof of work, takes up this much space, where proof of stake and then fucking all the rest, absolute nonsense, just takes up such a small area. So proof of work is the go-to and the standard. It's what people require. People are going to flock to the world's soundest, most secure, digitally engineered to be the greatest money, and that is Bitcoin. And then we open the chart for today and we see this, it is down and to the right. Usually Bitcoin goes up and to the right, usually on average when you zoom out far enough. But if we play around with the zoom function today, it's not really favorable. So that's 24 hours. 7 days we were going sideways. We've been going sideways for so long, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. And looks like we're falling sort of off a cliff. Yeah, so that's 7 days, 14 days. This was starting to look good. We came sideways, and I really thought after this pump, we were going to go sideways, pump back up again. But we have just continued to drop. Same story with the 30 days. Then when we get to 90 days, it's starting to look a whole lot better. Going across, up, going across. Does this play out as a flag, and then do we go further up? We'll see. This is 180 days. So it is trending in the right direction. For the time frame where we are right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually in the bull run time-wise. Price between now and the halving, it's going to be all over the place. Either when in doubt, zoom out, just realize it is just TikTok next block. 1 Bitcoin is going to be 1 Bitcoin. It will be what it'll be. It's after the halving that things really get crazy. But these are the opportunities, in my own opinion, that I live for, that I love, that I get excited for. When you wake up and I see the price red, I'm absolutely excited. And we also see that Bitcoin is at its all-time high in different parts of the world. So Bitcoin soars in Argentina after Javier Milei wins the presidential primary. Despite slumping in global cryptocurrency markets, Bitcoin has jumped to new highs in Argentina after Bitcoin-friendly presidential candidate Javier won the primary vote on August 13. So we did cover this on the day it happened, but this is what I find absolutely fascinating here. So the data on CoinGecko is saying that Bitcoin's jumped to a fresh all-time high in Argentina since the news of Bitcoin friendly Java won the primary, with 1 Bitcoin reaching a value of 10 million Argentine pesos on August 14. Now, what I find very interesting about that is if people are already holding Bitcoin, it's at an all-time high. And how is that? How is that possible? Because it's more than 50% off the all-time high here in Western countries when valued against the US dollar. But the Argentine peso, it's at its all-time high. How is that possible? It's due to inflation. It's due to the amount of money they've printed. And that's what's happening here as well. US, Australia, the UK, Canada, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's just on a continuum. Slowly, then suddenly in Argentina, we are seeing the suddenly phase. But if we jump back over, what is even more fascinating, ladies and gentlemen, is while the 10 million peso mark mentioned above references the official value, the Argentine parallel market, sometimes referred to as the real value market, shows the value of one Bitcoin at approximately 20.3 million Argentine pesos at the time of this update. Crazy, ladies and gentlemen. So they're saying at 10 million Argentine pesos, it's at an all-time high. For anyone that was holding their wealth in Argentina and Bitcoin, they've done really well. But it's twice the all-time high, really, if you want to buy it right now. That's absolutely crazy. That's like $140,000 Bitcoin. And we are going to get into where analysts now are talking about $150,000 to $180,000 Bitcoin. Here, valued in US dollars. Couple of things here. While the global cryptocurrency markets are experiencing notable slumps, some parts of the world are still recording new all-time highs for Bitcoin. And then Malau, I don't think he could give the finger, so he did this thing instead of this thing, because I think he is like so excited that he is the man, and he's like, yes, Bitcoin is king. He looks like a king. I'm pretty excited. Anyway, I one party voter here, and I'm actually not political, and I don't need a vote, and there's reasons for that, and I see it to be absolutely pointless, and I won't vote. But if someone in Australia wanted to come out and say, vote for me, we're bringing Bitcoin in, I'd probably think about it. Anyway, think being the term here. Malau wants to abolish the central bank legend and adopt the United States dollar as Argentina's currency. Nah. As Bitcoiners, you're like, dude, you're an idiot. But it's, as a country, as the thought leader, the world reserve currency, to adopt that, well, makes sense, yeah? Really? Like, if you're going through hyperinflation, you may as well adopt the worst bunch of the best bit of crap out there, and then move towards a Bitcoin standard. And that's going to happen worldwide. Maybe it takes 5, 10, 15, 20 years to play out. Bitcoin's inevitable, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. So the presidential candidate also believes that Bitcoin is a reaction against central bank scammers, while fiat currency allows politicians to scam Argentines with inflation. So instead of the Argentine peso scamming the citizens, they'll just let the US do it. That doesn't make any sense to me, but hopefully they hedge their bets with Bitcoin. There, I thought you'd find that one fairly interesting. Let us know in the comments below. Now, let's get into a little bit of hopium, and just talking about hopium because here we were talking about a hypothetical thought experiment for a $7 billion Bitcoin. A couple of people got their knickers in a knot over it because they didn't listen. So if you think $7 billion as a thought experiment isn't possible, listen to what Peter has to say. It's actually a very remarkable video. Obviously, there's a lot of parameters, caveats, no time in there, and it's not a prediction. It is just a thought experiment, but the math lines up, and Peter is a financial advisor who I really respect, and he's actually paired up with Jake Woodhouse. Watch this interview if you haven't. This is one of the most intelligent people that I've ever come across in my entire life, Jake Woodhouse. Shout out to him. So watch those two videos, and I will be interviewing their other business partner, Andy from the Bitcoin Advisor, as well on next Friday. Told you it was stacked. Anyway, expect some absolutely amazing podcasts coming out. Let's get back into it. So the Bitcoin ETF approval could take Bitcoin as high as $180,000. Tom Lee, who has been repeatedly bullish on Bitcoin, clarified the spot ETF has to be approved in the US for the price to reach 150 to 180K. Now, hedge fund founder Tom Lee opined that Bitcoin would cross its ATH shortly after the ETF approval. Another big player in the market predicted a surge in liquidity. Truthfully, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, and I talked to Greg Foss, that video is coming out next week, or the Jason Meyer video, depending which one I can get edited first. But with that Greg Foss, I asked him about the BlackRock. This man's a legend. He's been trading billions and billions and billions and billions, maybe trillions of dollars of bonds after 35 years in the market. If you don't know who the hell Greg Foss is, do a YouTube search, but that video will blow your minds. When that comes out, I ask him about the BlackRock ETF. I won't spoil the punchline, but wow. Hit subscribe. That'll come out next Wednesday, Tuesday for the American audience that we have. And we've got everyone from all over the world. So I apologize, but the time zone, to make it easy, we'll go with America. And because I'm here in Australia, that's just easy for me to look down at the day. Otherwise, I have no idea what day it is, because every day it's just TikTok, next block. I'm excited to wake up and buy the favorable dip today. Anyway, historically, a strong July for Bitcoin equals an unimpressive August. If the Bitcoin spot ETF gets approved, I think the demand would outweigh the daily supply and the clear price could be as high as 150 or 180K. Regulatory agency pushed the deadline to early 2024. More ETFs, more liquidity. CMO at UHODLer opines that the ETF approval could trigger a global adoption of crypto assets. Piss off crypto, it's Bitcoin only here. And you can see the GC in the top corner where the channel used to be G'day Crypto. We are G'day Bitcoin. We are rebranding to that. And it says Crypto News Daily. You can get rid of that. I wonder if we can get rid of... Gone. Absolutely gone. You saw it live. Bitcoin News Daily, and talking to the best and the brightest minds within Bitcoin, because it is. Bitcoin is not crypto, but if you wanted to class with crypto, it's the only crypto with any value. But we're going to get into XRP because they've had a win. And if they think that's a win, they're absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. But I found that with XRP the whole time. And hear me out on that when we get to that very shortly. Basically, more ETFs will bring more liquidity to the crypto market. I hate the word crypto now. No, don't really. I understand they're just naive and will stimulate market growth. Also, crypto will be better integrated into the financial system. Scary. Meanwhile, the US SEC may still approve the Bitcoin spot ETFs this year, considering recent developments. Lately, Coinbase disclosed that the CFTC approved its application for a Bitcoin and Ethereum futures ETF. Therefore, all hope may not be lost for the former. Temu, fucking, they come up, excuse that word, they come up with some weird stuff like price drop. What on earth is this thing? It's an ad, but what the hell? Can I zoom in and make it bigger? It's like, anyway, it's, who knows? If anyone can tell me what the hell that is, we need to organize something. Reach out to me on Twitter at Sean Clark, SEANCLARKE 911, and tell me what the hell you think that is. And does anyone buy anything off Temu? Like, we got a cat holder here. Anyway, Google pumping the ads, and I'll pump Google ads. Why not? Let's do them a favor. We are using their platform here on YouTube. These videos, the videos of the go, the live videos are just so you and I can say hello, keep you up to date. Now, Bitcoin buckles 4% to 27.7Ks. Interest rate surge higher. 2/3 of leveraged fund positions are short, one observer said, noting the bearish bias is sophisticated traders. Now let's look for a short squeeze and get them out of here. Anyway, you can tell I'm biased to the upside, perma bear, because I got a long time frame. I'm not waiting for Bitcoin to explode next year. Do I expect it? Yeah, probably. Does it happen 24, 25, 26? I don't actually care. I think about 2032, 2050 with some of my Bitcoin. Some Bitcoin I will never sell. Some of the Bitcoin is locked up for so long that I can't sell it. Anyway, we're going to dive more into that and how you can do that. Anyway, US interest rates hit multi-year highs. Among the factors behind the selling is a continued surge in global interest rates. In the US, 30-year Treasury bond rose to 4.42%, its highest level since 2011, according to Bloomberg. 10-year yield at 4.32 has risen to just a basis point shy of about a 15-year high. Crazy, hey? And I talked to Greg Foss. Are we going to get any more banking collapses? Definitely hit subscribe. What he says is just absolutely blew my mind. Now, hopefully I'm still going to catch the sunrise. At Sean Clark 911, I will post a photo as proof of work. Get that vitamin D, get the sun in your eyes as early as you can in the morning. Not medical advice. Don't stare into the sun, but having sunlight into your eyes is actually the #1 best thing for you and for your circadian rhythm. Just saying. Absolutely just saying. I understand that's not Bitcoin, but we get into Bitcoin to make our lives better, and vitamin D is the number one thing, and this is empty, but spring water, not tap water. Make sure there's no fluoride or calcium. Not calcium, calcium's good chlorine. Anyway, 2/3 of the positions are short versus 1/3 long. That's the widest it's been since April 2022. Shorts up the top, longs down the bottom here. Very big discrepancy. Maybe they come down, wipe out the longs and wipe out the shorts and get rid of the leverage, and then we just continue to pump further. That would be what I'd like to see. Now, the Bitcoin advisor, I talked about Peter Dunworth, Jake Woodhouse. Here, if you're a high net worth individual, you need to talk to someone that is a registered financial advisor. They do self-custody. They can help you get your Bitcoin off the exchange, collaborative custody. These are the people to reach out with. I have put a referral link below, whether you use and say Sean sent me or not. If you've got a lot of Bitcoin, a high net worth individual, you got 1 Bitcoin or more, I'd consider that to be high net worth. Their average clients have about 9 Bitcoin, but 1 to 5, and you want to be able to store it, inheritance planning, things like that, reach out to the Bitcoin advisor and tell them I said hi. Anyway, September is coming up, and usually it is a very, very, very bad month. In general, it is not one that is positive. So we can see here, if we're going back to 2013, down nearly 2%, 2014, nearly 20%, 2015, up 2.3%, up 6%. So I'm just gonna, it's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'll just race up those numbers. So negative 7.4, negative 5.58, negative 13.3, negative 7.5, negative 7.03, negative 3. So on the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it is very likely that we will get a 7th negative month in September. Then the following year, next year, is most likely statistically to be positive if we have 7 negatives in a row. But we'll see. This is coinglass.com, so you can jump on there and you can see the performance-wise. October, though, ladies and gentlemen, follows September, and usually that is an absolutely amazing month because we had, we've had a pretty good year this year, really, before the halving. So when in doubt, zoom out. But check out that chart there. I think that's very helpful. And if I zoom in, no, it doesn't really work. It doesn't look good. Anyway, MasterCard, and this is how people with XRP, Ripple have won, but I wouldn't call it a win, nor would I want to be involved or hold anything like that. But anyway, for these people, MasterCard deepens ties to CBDC as nation's mile issue in digital currency. Some of the first partners in the new MasterCard CBDC forum include Ripple, Fireblocks, and Consensus. Well done. Ripple and XRP are very, very separate, but people tie them together, lump them in there, and they think XRP is going to be used as part of that Ripple network. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But why do you want to support, control, totalitarian? None of the CBDC stuff is good. Anyway, for me, it's buy, stack Bitcoin, hodl, freedom. You do you. It's your money. I will do me. Anyway, let's carry on with it. That was basically the point. Payment giant MasterCard has created a forum where crypto industry players can discuss and collaborate on a CBDC. That's crypto for you, injecting its influential voice into the CBDC conversation as nations around the world consider whether to digitize their money. It is happening 2030. That is part of the agenda here. And Canada, Coinbase to suspend USDT trading for Canadian users. I found this pretty interesting. So a couple of crypto news articles to go over. In a way, slightly short term, this can affect Bitcoin, and that's why I'm bringing up. Long term, it's all just noise, it's no signal, but you may find it interesting. Users will still be able to deposit and withdraw USDT, DAI, and RAI after the deadline, but trading will be suspended. August 17, email notice to users. Coinbase said, we regularly monitor the assets on the exchange to ensure they meet our listing standards. I found a little bit more insidious than that. The Ontario Securities Commission banned USDT in 2021, though it never explained the rationale behind the ban. February 22, the Canadian Security Administration published a notice requiring registered crypto exchanges or those pending registration to sign a legally binding undertaking with the regulatory body. Among other items, the undertaking requires a prohibition on the part of the CTP in respect to clients buying or depositing value referenced crypto assets, commonly referred to as stablecoins, through crypto contracts without the prior written consent of the CSA. Your money, your choice. According to Canada, no. Colombia Central Bank. I don't know if this article, if I interpret it correctly, recommends limiting CBDC holdings and spending. Setting limits on CBDC transactions could be beneficial to issues related to user privacy and security, according to the Central Bank of Colombia. In order to mitigate any potential threats associated with CBDC, Colombia's central bank recommended setting holding and spending limits for the digital currency. Scary. So, for example, the Colombian central bank could offer digital wallets with small holding limits and a high level of privacy for people that place a high value on their transaction data. I wonder if you could just have heaps of those, because that's what I'd like. If you're forced to use the CBDC, I don't care if I have to have 100 wallets with $100 in there if I don't need to give up my privacy, but that won't be an option. Anyway, on the other hand, those who are comfortable with disclosing more data could prefer high holding limits and lower levels of privacy. Additionally, CBDC limits could be beneficial for commercial banks, as they would reduce the demand for a retail CBDC as a store of value in competition with bank accounts, the central bank noted. Bloody hell. Now, this is crazy, and this is the crux of the article. July, major UK's finance trade bodies like UK Finance argued that the government should limit users' digital pound holdings between £3,000 and £5,000. According to UK Finance, a high limit on Bitcoin holdings such as £20,000, $25,600 USD per individual, could destabilize the traditional banking system by facilitating bank runs or deposit competition with banks. What? That's scary. Let me know your thoughts below on that. Make sure you hit subscribe. We will go live nearly every day, but it's the podcast where the real value is, the very intelligent answers to some simple and maybe just some complex questions there. Hit us up on Twitter. Have a very, very beautiful day. We'll see you on the next video. Be blessed. Peace.